Hello, everybody. Happy Monday, and welcome back to the digital edition of NHL Now. Jack Redmond, EJ Braddock, and even though his internet is a little bit spotty, some might say unstable, Jon Cooper's going to fight through it. He's going to hang out with us on the official return to work day, I guess, in the NHL. Does it feel weird being here, Jon?
I can't believe it was March 12th. And then it was March 12th, and now we're at July 13th. It is mind-boggling to me. And well, the time was going. It seemed so slow, but now that we're here, I'm so glad to be back.
And Jon, congratulations! You're the first two-time guest on our Zoom edition. So you get literally nothing for that, but we get our gratitude. We do thank you for doing it. And I want to ask you, because you're in a unique spot. You're in that round robin. You're not in the qualifying, which is a good thing. You're one of the top teams in the league. How are you going to approach those 3 round robin type games?
Well, it's baby steps, right? Like just the way things are going. We if you look at the big picture, today's July 13th, and we don't play games till I think our first game's August 3rd, and then I don't think you can play again till. Well, we play a couple of round robin games, play August 12th, but naturally we're not going right. We're not jumping right into the fire like other teams are. And so I think mindset is so important. It's probably an overused word right now, but we have to draw on things in the past and how we've played in playoff series before, understanding that we're going to be playing a team that is going to coming off an emotional win, and we have to match that intensity. And so I would suspect that when we start going through these round robin games, the intensity in the third one will be a lot different than the intensity in the first one. And I think that'll be the case for a lot of these teams. You never want to tiptoe your way into games, but we've got a plan, and we'll have our guys amped up, gradually as this goes, because the one thing you can't do is we can't go into a series without the same intensity level as our opponent.
Well, you mentioned the word mindset, Jon, and it might be overused, but it's an important word. And I was reading that during this 4-month hiatus, you read a book that was on tennis, but it was about mental mindset and toughness and how it relates to performance. Is there anything that really stood out from you from that book that maybe you could apply to this situation, which, like we've said many times, is so unprecedented and unique? What was the big takeaway from that book?
Yeah, I did actually do a lot of reading, and there was one book called The Inner Game of Tennis. It was actually written in the 70s, and really it has nothing to do with tennis. They just used that sport as a guide, and it was all about your mind and talking. You have, like, how you talk to yourself, and basically you're having a conversation with yourself in your head, and you have to learn. It really kind of taught you how to control that and how your mind works. And it really resonated with me in when when players or coaches are in the zone, and how everything is, you're just rolling, but when there's times when you're second guessing yourself, why does that happen? Why are you telling yourself to do something? It's called that quote unquote, well, the harder you try, the worse it gets.
Yes.
That you have to be able to overcome that. And so anyway, there was some good advice in there, and just little tidbits like that I probably wouldn't have picked up before, and during the pandemic. So anyway, we'll see if I can apply any of those.
Hey, Jon, I want to go back to that Rose round robin games and ask you another question, because fans ask me this question too. How important is the seeding for you? Because I guess there will be some sort of seeding that comes out of this. How important is that to you? In my experience covering this game for a long time, usually it doesn't mean as much as media people and fans think. Give me your thoughts.
Well, before last year's playoffs, I would have said it had a little bit more importance. But if you asked all the number 1 seeds last year in the first round,
yeah.
And I think hockey is just a different game. And I think if there's a time where home ice is probably a little bit more irrelevant, is now, when you're playing in front of no fans. Now you do have the advantage of the last change, and I think that's a big advantage. But I was talking about this with one of the coaches earlier. You're protecting a 1-goal lead with a minute left. You'd ask any player, like, the crowd wills you to win those games. Just getting pucks out and the energy in the building and how things are going, you're not going to have that now. And so I don't know which way who it's gonna benefit, but it will be different for sure. So, but in saying that, I don't think at any point seeding, if there's a year, it probably doesn't matter as much. I would say it's probably this year.
And what about the intensity of the games? One of the other things that a lot of fans are talking about online is the fact that these top seeds are going to be playing in a round robin. And because the round robin games aren't as important as the elimination games that are going to be played in the qualifying rounds, that they won't be as intense. Do you see it that way? Or do you think these guys are going to be excited to go and get ready for when they are in a situation where they're actually playing a series?
It's totally open for the Monday morning quarterback, because if you say that round robin team comes in and loses, it's all going to be because they weren't battle tested enough. And if they win, it's because they had more rest. They got to have the rest.
Win.
Yeah, if they win, they had more rest and they were healthier. So it's I think you'll get that after series, but
I'll be the one saying it. I'll be the one throwing those cliches out there.
Replay this tape.
Yeah. Hey, John, you had a chance to be on the ice, I guess, with your guys earlier on Monday. What sense did you get from the guys on the ice? Do you feel like guys have kept themselves in pretty good shape? Where are they?
I'll be honest. I came in here I wasn't even sure where my expectations were. Of how this, all I wanted to do is I wanted to feel good when I left the ice. We had 2 smaller group sessions today, so the players only on the ice once, but we ran 2 sessions, and I was ecstatic when I left the ice. And I don't know, whether it was conditioning and hands and all those other things. I think I thought it was going to be a lot worse than it was. But our guys were good, and I left with a really, really positive feeling after today, and it was exciting. And it was just, maybe part of it too is because I was just excited to come to the rink and be around the guys. And you talk about, we had a big thing. We talked about family, and all of us we're going to leave our families, and who is our family now? And it's your teammates. And we're going to spend a lot of time together in the next few months, and we got to be pushing each other. And I thought today was a great day.
And, it's looked like Alex Killorn has really kept that bond strong during the pause on the season with the videos of the guys coming back and podcasts. Did any of that surprise you at all, that he just became this social media star during the 4-month break?
Well, he's a Harvard grad. You would have thought he could have figured that out a little earlier. But good for him, and good for so many players in the league. I'm proud that what Killer's done. I think it put a smile on a lot of people's faces. It opened up a personality. He's been in this league for quite some time now. He's really grown into a leader in this game, and his personality came out. And I think anytime you can, how many, I guess, we've been watching a bad thing happen for a long time now, and to have some good things like this come out of it, I think it's awesome. And Killer's a handful of players that have really kind of jumped into the limelight, and it's good. It's great to see these guys' personalities.
Yeah, great for the game, that's for sure. Well, John, welcome back to work.
Yes.
Thank you for doing this. We appreciate the time. Best of luck the rest of the way.
All right. Well, what do we do this?
You do one of these. Boom.
There you go.
See ya.
All right.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Good luck, John.
All right. Thanks.